A split-second decision on US 95 cost a mother and son their lives this week. Could it have been avoided? News 13's 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now. And good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Shawn Boyd.
And I'm Christina Brown. A mother swerved to miss a tire tread left behind on the road, causing her car to crash into a truck. Now some people in that area say that garbage is becoming a serious problem. News 13's Veronica Sanchez is live at the scene of Thursday's accident, where people say debris is piling up. Veronica?
Yeah, Christina, that accident can only be blamed by driver error. That woman simply lost control of her car last Thursday, but it certainly has raised a question with the folks who live and drive around here. That question is, what about the trash? There's always a pile of trash at NDOT, tire treads, garbage cans, and all around junk.
We fill up these 3 dumpsters 4 or 5 times a week.
This pile alone was collected in just 2 hours. NDOT says it works hard to keep the highways free of trash, but that's not enough for Katharina Costa, who lives near the site of last week's deadly crash.
I see the same debris on the highway that's maybe there for maybe 1, 2 weeks at a time, sometimes 3 weeks.
Last Thursday, 24-year-old Spring Carruthers lost control of her minivan after swerving to avoid a piece of tire tread on the road. Now, the minivan crossed the median on northbound 95 near Ann Road and smacked into a semi. Carruthers and her 5-year-old boy died. Her 18-month-old infant survived. But it's a tragedy that's got Katharina and her neighbors talking.
I just think they need to clean up a little bit more often than they do.
But NDOT says it's up to drivers to pick up the treads that fall off their tires. Katharina calls that dangerous.
I mean, I wouldn't want to run across this traffic to try to get a hubcap that flew off my car. I'd probably get killed.
NDOT has 50 crews on cleanup detail every day except Sunday to try and keep the roads clean.
And it's not going to be pristine where you'll never see a piece of debris on the highway. It happens at such a rapid pace. But our guys are making a concerted effort to make sure it gets off the road.
Now, NDOT says that it is really difficult for them to pick up all the trash out here, but there are programs that will help with the cleanup process. They just can't get to all the debris all at once. Reporting live, Veronica Sanchez, News 13, inside Las Vegas.
Okay, Veronica, so that I have this right. It's up to the driver to pick up the tire tread that their car leaves behind. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. And I know it sounds dangerous, but that's really what they want you to do. But at the same time, NDOT says, you know, use some common sense. If you see debris on the roadways or tire treads and you can't avoid them, the best thing to do is probably just to go over them instead of causing a major accident.
All right. Thank you, Veronica, for that live report. Well, there are long-term plans underway that could help prevent Thursday's accident from happening again. NDOT has changed its mind about building a barrier between the north and southbound lanes on US 95. Now the department will build a guardrail extending from Lone Mountain Road past Ann Road.
Today, registered voters fulfilled their civic duties with a trip to the mall. It was the first day of early voting in the Nevada state primaries. The election officials are hoping for higher voter turnout this year, as they do each and every year. Well, in the 2000 general election, 37% of registered voters cast their ballot during the early voting period.
It seems to be very important to the voter. They enjoy this. We increase the percentage every year that we have this early voting process.
Registered voters can cast ballots at 7 sites throughout the valley, at local malls, the Bell's Factory Outlets, the Las Vegas Athletic Club, and at the RTC office on Grand Central Parkway. August 30th is the very last day of early voting. Construction workers were up all night Friday, pouring the foundation for a new addition to the Las Vegas skyline.
That's right. It's the beginning of Turnberry Tower 3, and it's a welcome sign that the valley is rebounding from the economic downturn following September 11th. News 13's Kate Turner reports.
The exclusive Turnberry Place already has 2 towers near the Las Vegas Strip. Now they're adding number 3.
This is 8,200 cubic yards of concrete.
One of the largest concrete pours in the valley's history, and it's just enough for the 40-story tower's foundation.
Usually these projects are about a 18-month build cycle.
Turnberry's 3rd tower should be ready for its first residents in the spring of 2003, a welcome sign after a year of economic adversity in the valley.
This project was delayed due to September 11th. is back on track now.
Tower 3 was just one of handfuls of large projects put on the back burner last fall, as developers all over waited to see where and when the economy would level off. Turnberry's recent success, sold out Towers 1 and 2, and 60% of the freshly poured Tower 3 already spoken for, proves that Las Vegas is bouncing back.
We understand sales are going well, and that bodes well for the community of Las Vegas.
Now it's a matter of fast-tracking one big project. The pour took 30 days to coordinate, 400 people staying up all night, and 830 truckloads of concrete.
8,200 cubic yards of concrete is equivalent to a sidewalk from where we are standing down to Primm, Nevada.
A lot of cement to build a luxury tower that's also proof that the valley is healing.
And just gives the Las Vegas community another vote of confidence that people are willing to come to the valley and to live here.
And that was News 13's Kate Turner reporting. Now, it took 7 hours to pour all of the concrete. Construction should be completed by the spring of 2003.
The search has been called off for a little girl missing in Virginia. This right here, this photograph, is 9-year-old Jennifer Short. Her parents were found shot to death on Thursday in Bassett, Virginia. Now Jennifer is gone. Police think someone who knows the family is responsible. They're questioning people close to the Shorts, trying to find someone who may hold a clue.
Tomorrow we're putting on the same number of officers here. Tomorrow we've gone right through this weekend just like it was a weekday. We're a long way from a dead end. We got a lot of people yet to interview.
Authorities have issued a nationwide Amber Alert to help find Jennifer. Virginia search parties will be called back into action as soon as police give them more clues to follow.
Elsewhere inside the nation tonight, the U.S. Navy has added a new weapon to its fleet, the USS McCampbell. The Navy commissioned its newest destroyer in San Francisco today. It's named after Captain David S. McCampbell. McCampbell is the Navy's all-time leading ace with 34 aerial victories during World War II. The USS McCampbell is equipped with a fully automated long-range gun and an advanced Tomahawk land attack missile system.
Now to Washington, D.C. for the Millions for Reparations rally. Now, despite the name, only hundreds of African Americans converged on the nation's capital to demand compensation for the unpaid labor of enslaved Africans in the U.S. Some believe that the reparations movement is gaining momentum. Progress is being made on lawsuits filed by descendants of slaves against businesses that alleged profit from slavery. 2 wildfires burning near Steamboat Springs, Colorado are expected to merge tonight. So far, 17,000 acres have burned in the Mount Zirkle complex. That includes the Hinman fire, which has burned close to 9,000 acres, and the Burn Ridge fire that has blackened more than 9,000 acres. Fire officials say the fires are not burning near any homes.
Dozens of fire crews are tackling a fire at the Nevada test site. A brush fire in a remote area of the test site has burned between 700 and 1,000 acres. It started around 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. Now, the fire is now about 65% contained. No one has been reported injured, and officials say so far no major facilities or buildings are in jeopardy. Well, will the weather give us a break? Give crews a break, in fact.
That'd be nice. Well, the forecast team's Brandon Roux has a quick look at the forecast. Brandon.
Well, we had some gusty winds at times today, and this morning early we actually had some pretty high humidity levels. That helps the fire cause, but this afternoon we see those winds picking up, and that certainly does not help. We're looking for some cooler temperatures, and we're still holding out hope. We have a couple of things we're looking at here. First, the subtropical jet stream is beginning to flatten out, and that brought us some high thin cirrus clouds across the area for our sunset, making for a nice sunset. The reason why, we've got a couple of strong systems up here out of the Gulf of Alaska, which are breaking down the jet stream, and eventually we think perhaps by late Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe as late as Thursday, we're going to see a significant change in our weather. Meantime, as you wake up tomorrow, sunrise 6:01, temperature right around 82 degrees. Not looking at much in the way of cloud cover. Winds probably be picking up in the afternoon, southwest of 15 miles an hour. We'll go with 108, slightly cooler than what we've seen the last couple of days. And again, cooler just around the corner. We'll have that in your Roux preview coming up, guys.
In Inside the world tonight, the flooding continues in parts of Europe. The city of Dresden, Germany is among the hardest hit. But today, pumps started to remove some of the water, which covers streets and many landmarks. It'll take days for everything to dry out, but it could be months before everything is back to normal.
Pope John Paul is home for the weekend. He spent today in Krakow, Poland, where he studied to become a priest. It's also the place where he and his family were forced to work in a factory during the Nazi occupation. Today, he blessed a new shrine, which now stands in the exact same place where the factory once stood.
And Iraq and Russia could become partners. The countries are working on a $40 billion economic pact that could strain U.S. relations with Russia. But as of now, the White House is giving a low-key response, saying that Russia should understand its obligations to the United Nations, which still has economic sanctions against Iraq. And with school starting in just over a week, it's time for kids and parents to stock up on their school supplies.
And that's a pricey proposition. That's right. Coming up on News 13 at 11, how some families did it for free.
And with baseball players threatening to strike, fans are crying foul. And so are the Minnesota Twins. We'll show you why they have the most to lose.
But first, Bobblehead Mania comes to Cashman. We'll show you what had 51's fans lining up more than ever tonight. News 13 returns. A few thousand Las Vegans took Mayor Oscar Goodman home after tonight's baseball game at Cashman Field. That's right. It was Oscar Goodman Bobblehead night as the 51s hosted the Fresno Grizzlies. The first 4,000 fans to the field took home a token of truly memorable mayor. Well, he's the first political figure west of the Mississippi to have a bobblehead created after him.
I love them, and actually these are going to be real collector's items.
Oh yeah, I think it's great. And who knows how much you can get on eBay for these things.
A collector's item for sure, no doubt about it. Mayor Goodman also threw out the first pitch tonight at Cashman. Mario will have all the highlights coming up a little bit later on in sports. And you got one of them right
We
there.
do. The other political figures to have something such as this created after them, Jesse Ventura, the governor of Minnesota, George W. and Giuliani, former mayor of New York City. So pretty prestigious thing. I think they're right
That's
on.
fun, though.
Yeah, look at him. And
How nice to have the mayor stop by tonight.
anything you ask him, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you can sort of, you know, take your licks here. You can ask him a question, and he's bound to say yes to it, too.
Are you honest? Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course he's honest.
Everybody loves Mayor Goodman. That's the greatest thing about these things, and that guy was probably right. They'll be worth something on eBay one day. As we take a live shot out here from our sky cam, I'll tell you what, it is still warm outside, and we're looking at a temperature of 99. Last hour, we were at 97 degrees, so our temperature is bumping up. If you're heading to sleep tonight, you might want to bring a bottle of water next to your pillow just to keep cool tonight. Southwest winds 10 miles an hour, 17% humidity. Barometric pressure is falling just a bit. As we fly around the valley, we'll check out temperatures where you are tonight. In Henderson, 97 degrees, a little bit warmer south of there in Anthem. 95 in Ellis Air Force Base, 94 up at North Las Vegas. Of course, Summerlin, our cool spot at 92 degrees. And down at the National Weather Service, you're looking at 96. As we broaden out here a little bit, check out temperatures around the rest of the county. Right now up in Mesquite, you're at 100 degrees, and all the way further south, down in Laughlin, 98. Kingman, Arizona, 87 degrees. 73 degrees up at Mount Charleston. Typically this time of night we see temperatures up there into the low 60s, upper 50s maybe, so a warm one even up there. Steve Benson in Pahrump right now checking in at 88 degrees for us. It was a real warm one all across the Southwest. We had record temperatures today set at Big Bear Lake, California, 89 degrees there. Winslow, Arizona, as well as Flagstaff and the south rim of the Grand Canyon at 7,000 feet was close to 90 degrees there as well. So we've got all this warm air continuing to pump in out of the south. No monsoon moisture off to our east, so nothing to cool us down even the slightest bit. We're slightly cooler than we've been the last couple of days. We've been fringing right on these records. Today we were 2 degrees below the record of 111. 109 is what we hit officially today after 83 this morning, but we had 40% humidity this morning, so even that 83 degrees felt warm. Couldn't get rid of it all day long. long. Right now we sit at 99 along with Phoenix, Arizona as we check on our family and friends around the country. 65 degrees in Chicago. Look at some of these temperatures up in the north. If you watched any of the PGA up north of Minneapolis, the Hazeltine Country Club, 57 degrees up there right now. You saw the winds coming in behind this front. As we take a look at what's going on, we had some real heavy rain. They had about 3 inches of rain in an hour up there. Good job to the grounds crew to get that rain out of there. All this weather is pushing off to the east. We're seeing some heavy rains still along the mid-Atlantic states. More rain going to develop tomorrow across Florida, portions of New Orleans along the Gulf. As we take a real wide look out here, this is when we want to look at any potential for monsoon moisture crossing the Gulf of Mexico, coming up from Baja California. Really don't see anything develop. We have one slight depression that may begin to form down here, which we think maybe later in the week could brush some clouds into our area. But again, the usual suspects for the monsoon moisture, even this time of year, northwestern Arizona, southern Utah, at the closest to us. We don't think anything like that is going to develop. The big story for us is going to be a cool down. We've got a couple of systems out here off the Gulf of Alaska, which are already beginning to flatten the jet stream, push some of these high cirrus clouds our way. Of course, these aren't rainmakers, but we've got some cooler and windier weather heading our way. Wait till you see Roux preview the next 3 to 5 days. 108 for you tomorrow, so slightly less hot. Southwest winds 15 miles an hour at times. 50 tonight. That's a stretch at Mount Charleston, then 83 for you tomorrow. Mid-80s tonight at Lake Mead, and then 113 for you tomorrow. For us tonight, going to get down to about 83 degrees, and it was a perfect night for baseball out at the 51s. Checking out the next 5 days, 108 tomorrow. Look at these temperatures begin to cool down. 105 by Monday. Look at Tuesday and Wednesday when this front comes through. Temperatures at or below triple digits with a little bit of wind. Not bad, huh, guys?
Not bad at all.
I think we can take it.
I think so.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Well, kids, in just 9 days, it's back to school.
Oh, you're so cruel. Well, because of that, today the city of Las Vegas helped parents stock up. Yep, kids and parents, well, they swarmed Lorenzi Park for the 3rd annual back-to-school fair. Along with family activities, music and entertainment, well, the first 2,000 children between 6 and 16 got a free backpack and school supplies. Councilman Lawrence Weekly and said it's a great way to go back to school on a positive note.
And then for a lot of these young kids who live in at-risk communities, it's really tough for parents who are trying to make ends meet, you know, use those finances to go out and buy school supplies. So any little help we've been able to provide to help ease that burden.
And again, the first day of school in Clark County is August 26th.
And we'll be back right after the break. If Major League Baseball players don't get what they want from team owners by August 30th, they say they'll go on strike.
That's bad news for fans, but if the players want, the Minnesota Twins could really strike out.
Everybody's greedy, you know. Nobody wants to play, they just want their money.
We've been out here, we've been loyal, and every year, season tickets. And if they go on strike, it's going to be hard.
I don't think they should do it because baseball is life. It's been around for a long time. They don't need to stop it now.
Now it's time to play ball!
If there is a strike, the fans in Minnesota may have the most to lose. Their Twins are running away with the American League Central title and virtually assured of reaching the playoffs.
There's no postseason this year. I'd say that's probably the end of baseball in Minnesota.
That's because the league tried to eliminate the Twins as part of a contraction plan. The court injunction saved the team. Now this band of no-name players is facing a premature end to what should be a dream season.
There's no guarantee they're ever going to have a season like this again, and the unfortunate thing is we might not see the end of this one.
The owners and players are fighting over how to make the poorer teams from the smaller cities more competitive with the wealthiest teams that can afford superstar salaries.
The danger now is a miscalculation, that the players will underestimate the determination of the owners and the owners the determination of the players.
Oral Hershiser, now a Texas Ranger pitching coach, went through the last strike in 1994.
What I hope is that we learn from the past is that there's never been an agreement without a work stoppage, and I would hope baseball could learn from that history and do something different.
Now fans can take some comfort that at least both sides are still talking as players and owners find over the best way to divvy up baseball's millions.
Well, what was supposed to be a heavyweight showdown ended up being a quick show with one staying down.
And the 51s returned home tonight. Did the team move closer to clinching a spot in the postseason? Mario has the answer next in sports.
Now, with more complete coverage, News 13 continues with Mario Diaz and the sports team.
Well, they say if you come across a grizzly, you're supposed to play dead. Well, the 51s did anything but that at the ballpark this evening as they returned to Cashman for a 4-game homestand against the Fresno Grizzlies. Showed plenty of life in trying to get their magic number down to 4, and they had no problems doing just that as they record their 75th victory of the season. That is tops in the PCL 6-2, the final. To the capital city of Grande Cafe Americanos, division leader Seattle and New York duking it out at Safeco. Bernie Williams trying to extend his consecutive inning streak from 10 to a major league leading 12. Record 12. He gets number 11 there. Then 2 innings later in the third, he goes to the tie, but rounds out. So no record for the Yank, but the team still gets the W as New York sends a message to the Mariners in case they hook up for the playoffs as if there's no strike. They cruise by a 5 spot, 8-3 to the final there. Well, if Tiger Woods has become the first golfer to capture the U.S. Slam, he's got his work cut out for him at the PGA Championship in Minnesota. The Phenom started the day 4 shots back and actually had to play 17 and 18 to make up Friday's postponement of the second round. Here on 18, Woods delivers the shot of the day. Awkward stance in the bunker, 3-iron, smokes it 200 yards, parks it on the green, and to the bird. Tiger then shoots even par in the third round to leave him 5 strokes behind the leader, Justin Leonard. He was shooting darts during his round of 69. However, there are still 18 holes left, and with Mr. Woods in the shadows, anything can still happen. The last NFL player to rush for more than 2,000 yards in a season is retiring. Terrell Davis is calling it a career due to a bum knee. TD will make the announcement on Tuesday so that he can suit up one final time in the Mile High City on Monday night. Davis finishes his career much like Gale Sayers, early, but with enough production to never be forgotten. Well, if there's one thing that the Falcons and the Giants need to work on before kicking off the season, it's defense. The two teams combined for 70 points in the Georgia Dome tonight as the Falcons soar past Los Gigantes by a dozen, 36-24. Rebel football team held a scrimmage tonight out of Sam Boyd Stadium. 2 purposes for this. It allowed the team to get used to the lights in preparation for their season opener in 2 weeks against Wisconsin. And it also gave fans a chance to get an early glimpse of this year's squad. This is final video from earlier in the week at practice. John Robinson looking relaxed there. Jason Thomas and company need to come through this season. If not, imagine this. If UNLV finishes below 500 again, J-Rob would have 3 losing seasons out of 4 in Vegas. More amazing, he arrived here with none. Finally tonight, David. Well, that's Jason Thomas there. Hopefully we got the boxing video. Let me just tell you what happened. Jason would love to tell you what happened. There it is. David Tua, Michael Moore squared off in what was supposed to be a very interesting matchup. Keep your eye on things here. First round, 25 seconds in. Good evening, Michael Moore. The glass chin exposed once again. George Foreman did it the first time. Evander Holyfield did it the second time. Tonight, it's David Tua, Las Vegas resident, back in contention. There you have it.
Big boy.
Yeah, big punch. It's a glass chin there.
The glass chin. You combine the two, the glass chin with the big punch, you're good to go.
It's going to break.
I was always one of those ones who wondered if Foreman really got him, or if he...
Oh, he got him. He got him. He got him.
Glass straw again.
Foreman's fist is power.
Another warm one tomorrow, about 108. We think by Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll start to see it cool down.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Have a good night.